If you are looking for a camera monitor to help you get great shots with your DSLR, mirrorless, or cinema camera, then this is the video for you. In this video, we're going to go over the FeelWorld F5 ProX camera monitor, discuss all of its different specs and features, and see if this is a monitor you would want to use for your kit. Now, for full disclosure, FeelWorld, or Andy Cine, yes, they're essentially the same company, offered this monitor for me to review, though no money exchanged hands. They do not get any input into this video, nor do they get to see it before I post it. However, I do get to keep the monitor as an FYI. So first and foremost, let's talk about this monitor's specs and features. The F5 ProX is a 5.5-inch monitor at a resolution of 1080p 60 that offers a contrast ratio of 1000:1 and a brightness of up to 1600 nits. And yes, not surprisingly, 1600 nits is incredibly bright. This monitor is going to be easily bright enough to see what you're shooting during the day in bright sunlit situations, as well as in darker, more dimly lit rooms as well. Now, with a pixel density of 368 ppi, 8-bit color reproduction, and a viewing angle of up to 160 degrees, I found the picture of this monitor to be very high quality and certainly leagues above anything I would find on the rear of one of my Sony mirrorless cameras. Now, yes, this monitor supports up to 4K resolution at 30 frames per second through its HDMI connection, so you can decide whether you want to monitor 4K or 1080p coming from your camera, and it does support monitoring a DCI or 17:9 resolution as well as traditional 16:9 UHD. But of course, most people are getting a monitor to, well, use additional assistive features to help monitor their image, and of course, this FeelWorld F5 ProX includes a bunch of them. So yes, if you're looking to monitor your waveforms, whether RGB or Luma, you can certainly do that with the F5 ProX. But what about your vector scopes to assess color, the skin tone line, etc.? Yes, you can do that as well. The monitor also includes a histogram, focus assist function, so yes, you can assess focus peaking among other things, zebras to be able to assess overexposure, and yes, false colors as well. Of course, if you're the type of shooter that likes to use different overlays, grids, and markers to assess how you're shooting the image or how to compose shots, this is also going to allow you to use many of those options as well. So for instance, on my Sony mirrorless cameras, I typically set up a rule of thirds grid for helping to compose shots. Not surprisingly, something like this, and frankly much more, is easy to set up with the F5 ProX. And yes, that includes many different modes for anamorphic, depending on what the squeeze or de-squeeze that you need is. Now, this monitor also has an incredibly powerful zoom function, so yes, of course, you can zoom into your image up to 16 times, or a user configurable option if you'd like to. You can also freeze frame the monitor to stay on a still image. And yes, this is a touchscreen monitor, so while you can use tactile controls to navigate around, you might find using just your fingers and intuitively navigating the menus to be an even easier route to go. But yes, the options go even farther from here. So yes, if you're the type that likes monitoring your image using different user LUTs, this monitor allows you to upload up to 32 different LUTs to its various user slots. And worth noting, as a convenience, it does come with 4 pre-included, and this includes S-Log2 and S-Log3 for Sony shooters like myself. Of course, you also have the ability to monitor HDR images, accounting for various different flavors of HLG. You can highly customize the monitor's display and color accuracy, everything from brightness, contrast, saturation, tint, to RGB values. You also have 3 shortcut keys that you can program for different functions, and these will come predefined with some presets that you might find useful. And you have a number of different settings you can toggle across the monitor, everything from 11 different languages, and of course the ability to update its firmware. Of course, whatever different flavor or combination of values you wish to display on the monitor, you can easily customize this to your liking. And you can see what I ended up customizing here for my taste, and of course you can go well beyond this. Now, the monitor has a standard set of inputs and outputs, HDMI in, HDMI out, and of course a DC power connector. And in addition to DC power, this monitor can be powered by Sony NP-F batteries. And you also do have a headphone jack for monitoring audio, and a quarter 20 points for being able to mount the monitor to different accessories. And of course, as mentioned before, you have a set of tactile controls that you can use, whether for power, menu navigation, shortcut functionality, etc. But the touchscreen also allows you to do many of these things as well. And in terms of what this monitor comes with, it truly includes the kitchen sink's worth of accessories, and I mean that. So the monitor includes a set of manuals and an anti-static cleaning cloth for keeping the display clean. You have an easily attachable and detachable sun hood or visor for being able to block out light, say if you're shooting in a very bright situation. And this can easily be stored for transport when you're not using it. Now, apart from DC power, the monitor includes an NP-F 570 battery that you can use to power it. Of course, you can get even longer battery life out of different higher capacity NP-F batteries, like these newer NP-F 970s that I use for a lot of my different lighting and other accessories. The monitor also includes a USB-A to USB Type-C cable, an HDMI to micro HDMI cable, an included L-mount style bracket for being able to attach the monitor to different cages and other sorts of camera accessories, and a really well-made padded soft case that fits the monitor and all of the included accessories I've mentioned thus far. So overall, what has my experience been using the monitor? Simply put, It's great. Pretty much everything I would want or need out of an external camera monitor, the F5 ProX has. I never found it lacking in terms of brightness. In fact, quite frankly, I never even got close to the maximum output brightness of this unit and what it allows. All the options for the different assist features were very clearly explained, easy to toggle on and off, and can be of course configured in different setups and positions, and that made it very easy to use and customize this setup and display to my liking. Worth noting, I would say the touchscreen performance of this monitor is good enough. Certainly it will get you in the ballpark of whatever setting you're trying to control. Of course, if you want to get really precise values, that's what the tactile controls along the top of the monitor are for. Also worth noting, battery life was very good with this unit. As mentioned, I tested with a Sony NPF 970 battery, and even after hours of use, I had more than half of the battery's life still available to me. Truthfully, I was very impressed with this thing, and it offers a ton of bang for the buck, which yes, we should talk about its price. So this monitor typically retails for around $160 US, and compared to some similar monitors that are on the market that offer very similar features and feature sets at higher price points, it's become pretty clear to me how much of a value the F5 ProX really is. So in summary, what are my thoughts on the FeelWorld F5 ProX? I think in terms of touchscreen 5.5-inch monitors that are out there, this is one of the best values you're going to find on the market, hands down. Sure, would it be great if this monitor supported higher frame rates in 4K or 8K, had a bit of a higher output brightness, or perhaps had an additional assist feature or two? I guess. But even if it did, or there were others on the market like this, would they be worth the multiple times in price that the F5 ProX sells for? To me, that is the ultimate question to answer. And I think if you're looking for external monitors for your mirrorless or even cinema camera setup, the F5 ProX should easily be on and at the top of your list. So that is my take on the FeelWorld F5 ProX monitor. Now hopefully this video has been of some help to you. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if it has. Feel free to check out the videos on my channel around monitors and other sorts of camera accessories, and yes, there will be many more on the way. For now, that is all I have to say, so thanks for watching.